War of the Roses is a topic that may appear on the Life in the UK test, which assesses knowledge of British history and society. However, the story below is not directly related to the testable content, but it is still worth exploring for its tragic and fascinating tale. In the War of the Roses, the House of York, led by King Edward IV, was at war with the House of Lancashire. He played a significant role in the Wars of the Roses and was successful in numerous battles against the Lancashire armies. Two of his sons, including his elder son Edward, were extremely young. After the sudden death of Edward IV, his elder son, who was only 13 years old, became king as Edward V. His uncle, Richard, the Duke of Gloucester and the younger brother of King Edward V assumed the role of Lord Protector to assist in governance, until Edward V was old enough to reign and conduct the war. However, Richard went on to claim that his nephews were the illegitimate children of his late brother, and in June of that same year, he declared himself as Richard III and assumed the throne. He sent the deposed young King Edward V and his younger brother Richard of Shrewsbury, Duke of York, to a tightly guarded royal residence in the Tower of London, where they were imprisoned. To prevent them from asserting their legitimate claim to the throne as heirs, Richard III wanted them no more. As a result, the two princes vanished, and nobody knows what happened to them. The lost princes are one of the Tower's biggest mysteries. While in Richard's care, these young lads disappeared from the Tower. The most widely recognized theory is that they were killed on the orders of their uncle, King Richard III. Nobody knew where the boys were, or if they had died, where their bodies were buried. Thomas More, a writer from the early 15th century, claimed that they were suffocated to death with their pillows. William Shakespeare's play, Richard III, based on the narrative of Thomas More, states that they were executed on Richard's orders by Tyrrell and suffocated to death. Years rolled on and in 1674, workers repairing a stairway in the Tower came across the bones of two youngsters, which were believed to be the remains of the princes. It was 191 years later and the monarch at that time, King Charles II, ordered that they be placed in Westminster Abbey. The remains of the two children who were killed by the order of their uncle, King Richard III, were a mystery for a staggering 191 years. The War of the Roses continued to rage on, and at the Battle of Bosworth in 1485, King Richard III was killed, and Henry Tudor of the House of Lancaster was crowned as the new monarch. The defeated troops of King Richard III hastily buried him before they were chased away by the triumphant army of the House of Lancaster. Again, nobody knew where his body was buried. It was only in 2012 that workers stumbled upon his remains in the car park, and the discovery of his skeleton shed new light on the much-maligned monarch. The remains were subsequently reburied in 2015, with a proper ceremony befitting his royal status. This was again ordered by the monarch at the time, Queen Elizabeth II. However, the strange twist must be noted: his own burial site was lost for an even longer period of 527 years. There is no doubt that this bizarre story and the fates for all involved are terrible and full of strange twists of fate or karma.